What a mess. Now, look, let's not have any more argument about this. Since Hop Sing has been away, this place has been turned into a pigsty. And one of you is going to stay here and get this place back into shape again. Who's it going to be?
Oh, it ought to be Adam or little Joe. You know I ain't no good at this housekeeping.
Neither am I, Pa.
Neither am I. I agree with Hoss. It ought to be Joe.
Yeah, well, why always me, not you
All right,
or
let's
us?
stop the haggling. We'll decide who it'll be by the usual fair method.
I want to choose my match. I'm tired of getting beat.
Go ahead. All right. You ready?
Ready.
Come together. It'll take about 2 days to get that bull back up here from the railway siding. By the time we get back, I expect the loser to have this house clean as a whistle. The whole house. Understood?
Dadgummit.
Clean as a whistle. The whole house. Let's get ready, boys.
Oh, that burn little Joe ain't fixed that. Dadgone rock. You're supposed to get a pick and chop that thing off. Lazy little scoundrel. Paul will tear him up when Dad get him. Dad, blame it. Confound that blasted. Where's that rope? You hold me. Here.
Hoss! Hoss! Hey. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, I didn't think Hoss had it in him. Look, I'm beat, Pa. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, if the kitchen is this clean, I'll have to admit Hoss is a real great housekeeper.
Let's go see.
Oh, this is the cleanest this kitchen's ever been.
that house is not only a first-rate housekeeper, it's a first-rate cook. This is a better stew than Hop Sing ever dished up.
Yeah? Hey, Pa! Pa, come quick, upstairs. Come on, hurry. Who she is, Pa?
No. She must be the one. That cleaned the house and made that stew.
Why would you want to do a thing like that? Shh. Don't wake her up. She must be tired from doing all that work.
Well, Hoss can tell us who she is.
Hey, maybe in town all day. Hey, Pa. Maybe something in that satchel will tell us who she is.
I don't want to go in the satchel.
Well, why not? You know, no telling how long Hoss might be away.
It wouldn't be right.
Oh, go ahead and look in the satchel.
Go on.
For shame, man! For shame! What a black-hearted scoundrel you are! A man who would rob a poor old woman in his sleep is capable of anything. And how dare you come into this house with mud all over you?
Now, ma'am, will you please stop for just one moment? I'm Ben Cartwright. These are my sons, and we're in this house because we live here.
Yeah, and seeing as we didn't know who you were, ma'am, we thought we'd look in your little satchel there and see if we could find out who you were.
You have tongues, haven't you? All you had to do was to ask, and I'd tell you that I'm Nellie Lynch. Did you find Milhouse?
No, ma'am, I didn't, Miss Leach. I'm sorry.
Oh. Just a minute, young man. Danny always was an easygoing soul, and I know he lets you brutes get away with murder. But you throw in the muck as long as I'm staying here. And don't you ever come in this house again looking the way you are, or you've seen your last day on my son's ranch.
Your son's ranch?
That's what I said.
Mrs. Lynch, your son must be Danny Lynch.
Of course it's Danny Lynch. Now, who else would have be coming all the way from Ireland to see one more time before I divert my son, Danny?
Mrs. Lynch, I think there's something you want to know.
Oh, stop talking so much. It's not the likes of you I come over here to see. So stop standing there and go fetch me Danny. Get!
Paul, I've been looking all over the place for you. I want to tell you about Miss Lynch.
I know all about Mrs. Lynch. Why didn't you tell her the truth?
Paul, that little woman came all the way from Ireland and thinking that... Paul, I just couldn't break her heart.
Hoss, you should have told her the truth.
Paul, if it hadn't been for that little lady, I'd have drowned it right out there in that well before you got back.
Drowned?
Yes, sir. I fell in the well. Dad, Bernard, it ain't funny. Paul, that little woman saved my life.
Now, look, Hoss, you've got to be sensible about this. We've got a lot of men working around here, and sooner or later, somebody's going to let the cat out of the bag. Well, you're not doing her a kindness by letting her believe a lie.
What's stopping you from going right back in the house now and telling her the truth?
Well, she oughtn't to hear the truth from a stranger. She's going to hear it from the man who started this whole thing. Come on.
All right, Daddy.
Well, if you gentlemen have come to pay me a visit, I hope you brought your own bottle of whiskey.
Good. I don't have a drink left in the house.
On your feet now. Mr. Cartwright here paid your fine. You're free to go.
Now, just a moment, Danny. There's something fishy here. Beware of strangers bearing gifts. And don't forget, we'll be out of here tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right, Howie. You never did care much about the likes of Danny Lynch, Mr. Cartwright. So I don't think you'd do me a favor without some strings attached.
There are no strings, Danny. I'd just like you to come out to the Ponderosa.
Ha! No strings, he says. Lock the door, Sheriff, and give him back his money. I'd rather rat in the spot where I lie than work me indebtedness out on the Ponderosa like a slave in bondage. I reject you, officer, and bid you good day.
I doubt that the devil himself could get an honest day's work out of you, so I certainly wouldn't be wasting my time trying to. I just thought you'd like to see your mother.
Oh, that I would. But even if I had the eyes of an eagle, I couldn't see all the way to Ireland. Oh, Howie, I got a letter from me mother a week ago, and he's telling me...
Your mother's not in Ireland. She's at the Ponderosa.
You mean my mother's here in Nevada?
That's what I said.
I can't believe she's really here. I just can't believe it.
We can't believe that you're the owner of the Ponderosa either.
Tell me, how did she take it when she found out all the things that I wrote in me letters were lies?
Well, we didn't tell her, Danny. We thought you'd like to do that yourself.
Well, Dobby.
Go on, Danny.
My regards to your dear old mother there, Danny. And have one for me.
So, Paul, that's why I sent little Joe out in a buggy with her. What's it gonna hurt, Paul?
Well, I said no. And that's exactly what I meant. No. Now, look, Hoss, I know you're grateful to her and you have a nice, soft heart. But you don't have a soft head. And neither do I. I told you this before. Sooner or later, Mrs. Lynch has got to find out about him.
But no, she don't, Paul. That's just the point. She ain't gonna be here but a couple of weeks. Now, what's it gonna hurt if we play like her son is the owner of the Ponderosa? Paul, I can put up with Danny for a couple of weeks a lot easier than I can break that poor old lady's heart.
Oh, God bless you. How she got the heart of a saint.
You keep out of this.
Paul, you just gotta stop thinking about how you feel about Danny and think about that poor old lady. She came all the way over here from Ireland, Paul, and it just wouldn't be fair.
Hoss, will you stop being ridiculous? You're not going to change my mind. And neither are you.
Well, Danny, at least we can get you cleaned up. Why don't you come on in the kitchen with me, huh?
Darn dead.
Danny! Never mind getting cleaned up. It's too late for that. She's here.
'Tis a lovely place my Danny boy has. Oh, a lovely place.
That it is, ma'am.
Danny?
Dobby?
Danny. It's the first time I've been called Dobby since the day you left home.
Dobby! Oh, Dobby! Oh, sweet Dobby! I can't believe my eyes! Sweet Dobby! Oh,
Danny, oh,
God love you! Oh, thank you.
Danny. Oh, I've been so lonely. Oh,
Be all shaven and have one of Pa's suits on by now. What happened?
Oh, Dad burning, nothing happened.
You mean he wouldn't go for it?
No. We tried to talk him into it, but solid as a rock.
Danny, oh, I've been so lonely.
might melt.
2 weeks. No more, 2 weeks.
Danny Lynch, just look at you now. Faith and only a mother could love you. You're a sight to behold.
You're right, Miss Lynch. He don't look much like the owner of the Ponderosa, does he? But now that you're here, maybe he'll start sprucing up a little bit instead of looking like one of us cowhands.
Well, tell me now, Dobie, did you come all the way over here to see me trousseau? Or was it your Danny boy you really came to see? Tell me, Dobie.
Oh, Danny, you devil. You know I don't have to tell you.
May I?
Certainly.
I haven't tasted a fine Irish stew like that since the day I left me home. Me mother's a fine cook, isn't she, fellas?
Oh, sure is.
There's only one way to top off a meal like that. It's a spot of good brandy. Well, Ben, you know where I keep my bottle. Get it for me, will you, please?
I'll get it for you, Pop.
You just stay right there, little Joe. I'm going to get this brandy myself.
You enjoy a spot of brandy, don't you, Dobby?
No, I don't. Well, I take a wee spot now and then for medicinal purposes. Only because my doctor recommends it. He says it's good to keep me old blood circulating.
Then you have a very wise doctor. My father always told me, watch out for a man who doesn't drink. And if you run into an Irishman that doesn't drink, stay away from him like you stay away from the plague.
But remember, it was the whiskey that done him in long before his time. God rest his poor soul.
Ah, come on, Dobby. You and I both know that he was drowned while fishing in the Irish Sea off Balregan.
Well, if he wasn't drunk, he wouldn't have fallen out of his dory.
Oh, thank you, Ben.
No, not for me.
Ben, you know I always like to do the honors with my own hands.
All right, that's enough for me.
Well, seeing this is a special occasion, Ben, I don't mind if you and the boys join me in a spot of brandy. Little spot of brandy?
No, thanks, boss.
This is a very special occasion, Danny. And I really didn't mean to spoil it by reminding you of how your father left this world. I don't have to worry about you, Danny. Any man that could build an empire like the Ponderosa would never let the whiskey ruin his life. Forgive me, son.
There's nothing to forgive. And seeing we're together, well, there's just nothing to do but celebrate. Good morning, Dobby. And how are you this fine day?
Never mind how I am. You just should get down here. Remember, you have to do something for me today.
Ben! Leave your horse saddled. I want to use it.
No, Paul, wait.
He hasn't been up a single day before noon since he's been here.
Well, at least that way you'll see less of him, Paul.
No.
Boy, he ain't much like his ma, is he? I don't see how a woman her age does it, Paul. She's up every morning fixing breakfast, and then after that, she's working all day like a slave.
You know, that Nellie Lynch is well, she's a remarkable woman. I have a great deal of respect for her. You know, I wouldn't mind it if she spent the rest of her days right here in the Ponderosa. But how a wonderful woman like her could mother a useless, shiftless, worthless, lazy parasite like that son of hers. Well, it's just beyond my understanding.
Danny.
Where did you get all the money?
It's my passage money, Danny. I paid my passage here, and I'm paying my passage home.
Now, what kind of a son owning a grand ranch like the Ponderosa would permit his poor mother to buy her own passage back to Ireland? Well, not your Danny boy. Here, you take it back and I'll buy you a passage myself.
I accept charity from no one, not even you, Danny. Not even if you owned every foot of ground in America. So stop arguing with me and put it in your pocket. And go to town and make all the arrangements.
You have no right to be so proud and independent.
Ah, keep the money and save your breath. Yours, eh, Danny? It's the finest. Now, go along with you and purchase my passage back to Ireland.
Oh, hello, Danny. Well, what can I do for you, Danny?
Well, I'd like to buy passage for Ireland.
Oh, for you, Danny?
No, it's for me mother.
Oh, well, now, let me find out about the ships here. Well, let's see, we have you said Ireland?
Yeah.
There's a ship leaving New Orleans at Kilkennan the last of the month. Now, I can't accept the passage money for the Kilkennan. Your mother will have to pay for that in New Orleans when she gets there. You could just leave $10 with me. It'll more than cover the cost of telegraphing to New Orleans. And then you can pay for the stagecoach ticket, our stagecoach ticket, anytime you want. Before she leaves, of course.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ramsey. It's a pleasure doing business with you. And it's a very bright young man you are.
Thank you, Danny.
Never saw you so prosperous, Danny. Your luck sure must have changed since the last time I saw you. My, this coat sure has a rich feeling. I'll bet you could...
It ain't for sale, so quit fingering it.
But, Danny, I'm flat busted. I couldn't buy it if it was. I haven't even the price of a glass of whiskey.
Well, I better be on my way. It's good seeing you again, Howie.
Well, Danny, when the cards was turning right for me, did I ever turn my back on you?
No, you didn't, Howie, and it wouldn't turn me back on you, but I'm not as prosperous as I look.
Oh, but Danny,
No, that is not my money, Howie. I'm not lying to you. It is not my money.
But, Danny, it's got purchasing power no matter whose money it is. Please, Danny, I'm pleading with you. I beg with you. I'll get on my knees.
Oh, now stop it, Howie. Stop it. Well, you never deserted me when I was down and out, and I will not desert you. I'll buy you one stiff drink and a good meal, and that's all.
Danny, that's all I can ask of you. Hey, come on, Danny, come on. I'm thirsty, I'm hungry. Come on, Danny, come on.
Pa's horse, all right. Maybe we can talk when staying in town at the hotel when Mrs. Lynch leaves.
are you in or out, Mr. Lynch?
I'm in. Give me 3.
Do you suppose Pa was so fed up with Danny that he was willing to give him money to gamble with just to get rid of him?
Adam, little Joe, how's that fine new bull of yours?
Good.
I'm still offering 500.
That's a fair price, Mr. Higgins. You get ready to sell him, we'll let you know.
Well, I'm out.
Well, how about you, Mr. Lynch?
Oh, I'll bet. There.
I'm sure I'm foolish, but I'll call you. All I've got is 2 pairs, 7s and 6s. What have you got, Mr. Lynch?
All he's got is a pair of aces.
How much has he lost so far?
That's about $250.
I'm dealing you out this time, Danny.
Why?
Because you haven't got any money.
Well, isn't my credit good?
Not with me, it isn't.
If you can't get credit with men that know you, Mr. Lynch, you can't expect to get it from me.
How about you, Mr. Higgins?
I'm sorry, Danny. I'm broke.
I just heard you offer 500 for a bull. Adam, how about...
Let's go, Danny.
Are you sure you didn't give him the money?
I swear it, Paul.
Well, where did he get it?
I don't know.
Ah, good horse, no good at all.
And Danny, you ain't gonna get no argument from Paul on that subject.
No good.
Danny, you done said that once. Now hush up before you wake up your ma. You don't want her to come down here and see you in this condition, do you? Oh.
Good morning, Darby.
Good morning. So there you are, Danny boy. Do you know that it's almost time for lunch?
That I do. But I've been doing a lot of thinking. Takes an awful lot of thinking to run a ranch. And you know, there's nothing like lying in bed for clearing the head.
And it's lucky you are in having the Cartwrights for working while you do the thinking. Certainly gives them an appetite.
Darby, you've been working too hard. I think I'll send for the cook, Hopsing, and have him come back from San Francisco.
You do no such thing. With a name like that, he could poison all of us. Besides, I like the cooking. Haven't I been doing it for years back in Ireland? Now, did you make all the arrangements for me going back home, Danny?
Well, I took that long trip into town, didn't I?
Ah, Danny. I wish I could take you with me. But I know your roots are here in America now.
Darby, I'm going back into town and cancel all the arrangements for your trip back home.
In heaven's name, why?
Because you're never going back. You're staying right here with me. I need you, Darby.
Oh, I wish I could be with you always, Danny. But I couldn't.
Why not?
Until I left Ireland to visit you, I'd never been further from Danboyan than Balrigan. No, I'd never rest easy, buried in a foreign soil. You know that, Danny.
Sure, Darby. That I do.
I thought I told you boys to take this bull out to the herd.
He also had us out mending fences. We can't be 2 places at once.
See, the Cartwrights are coming for lunch. I think I'll mosey along.
Oh, but why, Danny? You haven't eaten.
Well, I got to check up on their work. You know, it's not all manual labor running a ranch. It's thinking, Darby. It's thinking. Goodbye.
Get your rope, Joe.
Yeah.
Come on. Hey, Paul, he's gone.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Higgins. And Danny heard that offer for $500.
I'll go with you, Hoss.
Hello, Danny.
Oh, hello, Mr. Higgins. Quite a show you got, huh?
Yeah, that's a heap of wood. Say, if you'd like to finish sawing that and stack it over that pile, I'll be glad to give you $25.
No, thank you, Mr. Higgins.
Well, I can't say as I blame you. What are you doing with Ben Cartwright's bull?
Ben has a lot of bulls, so he decided to sell this one to you. He asked me to bring it over to you.
Is he still asking the same price?
500.
I sure would like to buy that bull, Danny. I surely would.
Well, what's stopping you from owning him?
Ben,
But I just told you.
I'd be willing to go even higher than the 500, but before we can close any deal, I'd better hear what Ben says. Hello, Ben.
John?
Ben,
Now get up on your horse. Long, John.
So long, Ben.
Maybe I ought to get you a drink, Danny.
No, it's too late for that. It's all gone.
What are you gentlemen doing home at this time of day? Isn't there any work to be done?
Gabby, I hate to see you working your fingers to the bone down in me socks.
Oh, I've downed your socks before, Danny. And your father's, too. What is it, Danny?
Well, those are not my socks. They're Ben's. And every stitch of clothes I have on are Ben's. Even me shoes are his.
Well, what do you mean?
No, I'd rather die than do this to you, Dobby. But no, don't say a word. Just listen. And when I'm finished, you won't even want to look or ever see a fancy Danny boy again. Now, listen, please. The Cartwrights own the Ponderosa. I don't own anything, and I never did. I was in jail when you arrived. Ben Cartwright has always been set against me and me ways. Because Hoss and his brothers, Ben too, otherwise he wouldn't have gone along with it. Couldn't stand to see you come halfway across the world and have your heart broken in pieces. They let me pretend I owned a Ponderosa. Felt sort of good, too. Wearing fine clothes. Living in a fine house. It felt good inside, too. Because I could see how proud you were.
I don't feel proud of you now.
Let me get it all out, please. I stole Ben Cartwright's bull to sell it. so that I could give you back the money that you gave me for your passage home. But he caught me before I could sell it.
What happened to my money?
Well, I got drunk and I lost in the poker game in the pub.
Oh, Danny, you gambled away my passage money. I don't have any more money.
Mrs. Lynch, you'll have the money to get back to Ireland.
Oh, Danny, what made you do it?
I don't know. I met a friend, and I did it. I did it because I'm Danny Lynch.
Don't you worry about your passage back to Ireland. Paul give it to you.
I never borrowed a farthing in my life, and I never thought I would. But it'll all be repaid. You can be sure of that.
Abby, I love you. And I'm sorry I hurt you so. Goodbye, Dobby.
I'll never lay eyes on him again.
Sure you will, Miss Lynch. He'll come back.
No, he won't. He's too ashamed. I've seen my son for the last time. Oh.
If I had, I'd have rode over to your place and told you he was over here. He come back the same day that he tried to sell me Ben's bull. I didn't take him serious right off, but he was. Seems kind of funny, don't it, Hoss?
Sure doesn't. We got no notion he's over here. We've been looking for him for days. Glad Paul decided to invite you to Miss Lynch's farewell party, though. You mean he chopped all that by himself?
Yes, sirree. He's done a real fine job, Hoss. Why, I've got enough wood to last me all winter.
Hello, Hoss.
Ooh. Hey, Danny. Oh, John's been telling me how hard you've been working. He sure wasn't lying.
Hoss, how's me, Dobby?
She's just fine, Danny. As a matter of fact, she's going back to Ireland. We're having a little farewell party for her tonight. I know she'd appreciate it a great deal if you could be there.
Well, the next time I see Dobby, I'll have the money for her fare back to Ireland in my pocket, or I won't see her at all. Mr. Higgins, that's the last of the wood. May I have me money, please?
Well, sure, Danny, but there's a lot of other work you can do around here.
Just me money, please. And Mr. Higgins, I wonder if you'd trust me enough to lend me a horse to ride into town.
Sure, I guess so, Danny.
Well, thanks, Mr. Higgins. Thanks for everything.
Hey, Danny, wait a minute. Danny, what you gonna be doing in town?
What do you think Danny Lynch would be doing in town?
Oh, you can't change the spots on a leopard.
Oh, you've been working like a mule. He cut all that wood and stacked it for Mr. Higgins. That must prove he's changed.
Mm-hmm. Could also prove that all he wanted was a steak. Did he continue to work for Higgins? No. Went straight to town.
Maybe he's got a plan.
You don't need a plan to stand up to a bar.
Well, anyhow, I'm gonna have to ride in town and find out. I just couldn't face that poor Miss Lynch if Danny don't show up for that party.
Yeah, she's in there now, preparing for that party. Just as excited as the first day she got here. Hoss, wait for me. I couldn't face her either. I'll go with you.
Tens. I'm out.
Small flush. Well, it looks like me pot.
Bartender, some whiskey.
told you we'd be too late.
Yeah, looks like.
Cards are sure smiling on you today, Danny. Here, let's celebrate.
I don't need that. I am not drinking. Furthermore, you can remove it from me presents. Well, let's ante up.
There it is, Danny. That's all you get from me.
I'm through.
Well, you called. I got 3 of the tiniest ones in the deck.
They may be tiny, but they're big enough for aces up.
Danny, come on now, Danny. You got over $250 here. Now, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, Dan.
You mind if I sit in?
You can sit in if you want to, but the money's leaving. Come on,
No,
Come on.
Howie, you're broke. Now, give Mr. Wiley your seat.
Oh,
Danny,
come on,
Danny,
now.
you done
broke the table.
Yeah, but Mr. Wiley's holding plenty.
Well, I might have known.
I have no objection to two-handed poker. Do you, Mr. Lynch?
Oh, none at all. You've separated me from so much of me money in the past years, I'd like to try and get some of it back.
Well, let's see if you can.
But we're not going to play poker. Now, here's 250. You put up a like amount, and I'll high card you for it.
Danny.
Would you like to pick your card first, Mr. Lynch?
Oh, I don't care who picks first, Mr. Wiley, but we're not going to do it that way. Here, Hoss, you shuffle the deck and put them on the table.
Danny, don't do it. For your mother's sake, don't do it.
Shuffle them.
I just plain can't stand it.
I can tell by your face what happened.
He wanted to play double or nothing with Wiley. If I'd have stayed there another minute, I'd have broke him in two.
Why couldn't he quit when he had the 250?
Because he's Danny Lynch.
I better tell Mrs. Lynch that he won't be here. That poor lady, she's had so much. Thank you. Mrs. Lynch, I'm terribly sorry, but I don't think Danny will be coming to the party.
Poor Danny. He's still ashamed to face his mother.
Yeah, I feel kind of badly that for us all going along with Danny's lie. But we did it out of the deepest affection and admiration for you.
Dear Mr. Cartwright, you're a kind man. You and your fine boys, you don't need to be sorry for what you did. You see, I knew the truth all along.
You did? But when?
The minute I saw Danny's face. You can't fool a mother about her own son, especially an Irish mother. And I felt so grateful to you. That's why I kept the Ponderosa all clean and spotless out of my gratitude. And about this party. It's grand of you. But would you make my apologies to everyone? I just don't feel like a party.
Everybody fill up a glass, and we'll drink a toast to me mother. The pride and joy of Dunboyne, and the only woman her son Danny ever truly loved.
Danny, you drunk.
Oh, no, I'm not. This is the only drink that's passed me gullet in days. Here. Don't bother to count it. Take me word for it, there's $500 beautiful nestled snug and warm behind that string. Take me word, because I'm never going to lie to you again. Never. Well, a toast to me mother. May the winds blow kind on the Kilkennan as it sails across the sea carrying me Dobby. And a Danny boy back to Ireland.
Danny.
I know that's a surprise, but isn't that a toast worth drinking to, Ben? When the stage leaves Virginia City tomorrow morning, you'll never have to look at this cheerful, smiling face of mine again. Here, how's each you, Phil? Because unless you visit Nellie and Danny's fish and chip place in Dunboyne, you'll never taste the likes of them again.
Ah, Danny, this is the happiest day of my life. And I'm glad you don't own the Ponderosa. Because if you did, you couldn't go back to Ireland with me.
Well, now, Mrs. Lynch, I'm sure you haven't forgotten how to do an Irish jig. Play, boys.
Don't make a habit of those, Hoss. You'll have to go clear to Ireland to get them.
Might be worth it, Paul. Boy, is it a great party?
Yeah, sure is.
You know, I'm gonna sort of miss having old Danny around, ain't you?
Yeah, sure. What am I saying?